Alright, we're gonna do a full settings video. Shout out to the homie who wanted to do full settings. So we ride either 775 or 8, 50 wheels. Alright, let's get it. So these settings are basically, you could say, the most realistic gatekeeper settings, you know. Streamers don't be using these settings or anything, you know, because they're too hard. Anybody can play how they want, you know. You could do realistic settings, you could do arcade gameplay, you know. I like difficult settings, so that's why I have these, you know. So first, you guys, you could read this on your own, but I'll just read you a little bit of. Session is a hard game and will test your patience. Be advised. It's not like I love Tony Hawk and everything, but this game's not like that. You know, this is more more realistic, and these settings are gonna make it feel more realistic. Also, this little part right here: to do tricks in session, you must mimic real life motions and execute the inputs in the right sequence. Basically, meaning like you got to do the weight transfer, or like, you know, if you're gonna no slide, you got to kind of ollie at an angle. You know, you can't just like ollie and expect them to no slide. That's kind of basically what that means. All right, so we're gonna get into these settings real quick, and then we're gonna do some clips, and at the end some gameplay. We'll see how long this video lasts. Input mode: left foot, right foot. You know, it's not front or back. It's like your left foot is your left foot always, and your right foot is always your right foot. So that's how we have it in the game as well. Body rotation, manual. Basically, if you hold the R2 or L2, you know, harder or faster, he's gonna rotate faster that way, you know. Big drop landings enabled. Basically, that means like if you're jumping from more stairs or like a bigger drop, you gotta hold down the joysticks so that the character lands the tricks, or else he's not gonna land them. You know, he's gonna bail. It's kind of like you gotta hold down, like it says right there, a 50-50 till the end, or else your player's gonna bail. Board settings. The truck tightness, I have it off. So basically, I keep my front truck a little bit more loose than the back one. 10, 15. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have a pretty bad bad setup. So, wheel bite disabled. You don't need your player wheel biting all over. Flip tricks, catch manual, board control manual. You know, basically some of these settings are the difference why people sometimes complain in comments of content creators like, oh, like the physics are terrible, or all the flip tricks look the same. They kind of do and they don't. These settings, these are like some of the difference why. If you change these, they're gonna look different, not like how they do, but they're harder. So basically, your board, you have it manual. So like if you tweak it more, it's gonna look more tweaked or whatever. It's more difficult, but it's gonna look more realistic. If you have it auto, it's gonna look like content creators. You know, not to hate on them, but it's easier for content. I watch it too, so it's whatever, you know. But if you want that more hardcore gameplay, like the homie that asked for the settings, these are for people that want to test their session skills. You know, get up to the next level. It's more difficult and it has like a lot of more inputs that you have to do, but it's more satisfying whenever you land something because it's that more difficult. All right, so flip mode continuous, you have it on. So basically the flip speed, input speed, you flick the joysticks harder, it's gonna flip harder. Okay. Sync scoops and flips, you need to have that off. so they're not, synchronized. They look different. If you have it on, it's gonna be like content creators. Like it's easier. Everything's gonna look the same. But if you have it off, you have more control. Gives you that realistic feeling. Scoop normal. That's the scoop rotations. Input speed as well. You flick it hard on the joystick, it's gonna do a quicker shoves and everything. Scoop continuous on as well. Pop height, you need to have that on unique. If you have it global, if you switch, fakie, whatever, it's all gonna look the same. He's gonna jump high or whatever. You could read them on your own right there on the side. But it's if you have a unique switch, sometimes you don't pop as high. Okay, let's get into the grind settings. This is gonna make all the difference on the grinds. These are gonna be more difficult. You need to have it off. If you have it on, he's gonna lock into whatever. If you have it off, your pinch has to be on point, body weight, whatever. It all has to be on point, or he's not gonna do the grind, or it's not gonna lock in. Have that off for realistic stuff. You want to have it on if it's too hard, but for realistic gameplay, you need to have it off. Grind input mode, full release. You gotta do the kickflip and whatever, and then you go for the grind or slide. Full release, not partial or no release. If you have no release, it's easy. Full release. Tell me how it feels. Grind alignment 25 for the more realistic. If you have it higher, it's fake. Well, I mean, he just locks in. I don't mean to sound like a hater or whatever, but these settings are for hardcore people that want that hardcore gameplay. If you don't want that hardcore gameplay, these settings are not for you. You don't have to watch this. But if you want that hardcore gameplay, these are for you. Board breaking on. Dirty close, it doesn't even happen, but we have it on just for whatever. And board breaking, you snap your decks all the time, so 0. Advanced settings, gravity, 18. He's not floating, he's not a astronaut, he's not in space, 18. Realistic. Push force, 13. Maximum push speed, 13 as well. Same as push force. Foot braking, 10. Banking and turning, you keep it on 0. This is what I meant about the truck settings, about keeping them loose. Basically, your trucks are loose, so you don't need banking and crouching and stuff. Your trucks are already loose, so he can already do all that. You don't need that. You could keep that at 0. Pop board to body distance at 8. So that's the most realistic one. Sources, trust me. All these are the source on these on everything is a trust me, bro. That's the source for all of these. But try all these settings and you're gonna see it's difficult, but it's gonna feel realistic. I'm gonna show you some clips right now. Just trust the process. All right, so low pop height 17, high pop height 13. There's different pop heights in general. I'll show you right now what I mean by the pop heights when we get into a little bit of the gameplay. But 13 on that. So you could get on stuff and it's the most realistic one. Again, source, trust me, bro. Grind pop height, like when he pops out of grinds at 12. Manual pop height, 12 as well. You guys are going to see some clips right now for all of these settings. You're going to see them in action right now. And you're going to see they're pretty good. They're difficult, but they're pretty good. Body rotation rate, 13. I mean, the video's getting pretty long, so I'm not going to go into a lot of details anymore. But friction, 8. In air orient, 12. Flip speed, 12. Flip friction, 5. Scoop speed, 5. Scoop friction, 3. Grind friction, 5. For so you could slide good. These are all hardcore settings, trust. Grind rotation rate, full on 20. Power slide friction 9. Board control side impulse 13. Board control extra pitch 15. Board control extra scoop 7. Dark sides we don't use that, but 10. And the big drops 10. Neutral. Impulse 12. Max sprint speed 15. And that's gonna be it. Experimental, we have the physics off because they don't really look all like that. But what I meant about the ollies, the Popeyes and stuff, basically if you just flick it real quick, he does like a little pop. If you hold it a little bit longer, he does a little bit higher. Oh shit. And if you hold it down, he jumps like a high ollie. Basically that's what I meant on those. But I already showed you guys the heights. Let's get into some clips. Alright, we're gonna get into some clips right now. Yeah, I felt the video was getting kind of long. I don't know if I missed any clips. Any settings. If I did, let me know. I'm not good at filming, but if any of you guys are, and with these settings, you could get some good footage. So basically, I'm not good at filming, but what I meant is like the settings are good. Look at the gameplay you could get. Good looking tray. You know what I mean? Some other clips that you can get. And if you're good at filming, even better. I'm not good at filming, but I'm just gonna show you guys the clips and stuff. And if you're good at filming, see, you can do it with the little pivot too. You know what I mean? Like here, you put your joysticks in a way that it looks like he's going switch. He does a switch heel, switch front side heel with the little pivot. And if you know how to film these clips, it's gonna look very realistic in your edits and whatever. You know what I mean? Look at that. And that's all with these settings. And he's like locked in, on that nose slide. That's what I meant. Alright, I'm kind of pausing the video and stuff and going to the clips just for like time's sake, so the video is not as long. Mostly the focus is the settings, so you guys could take your time on that, or you guys could skip forward to all this. But I'm not good at filming, but these are the clips that you could get. Like he's in there. He's locked in. If you know how to film clips for your edits with these settings, if you lock them down like you practice, you can get some good clips, man. I'm not good at filming, but I got the gameplay and stuff. And these settings are for all you guys too. If you want realistic hardcore settings, this is what you could get. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not good at filming, but there's another one right here. Ooh, you know what I mean? These are all with these settings. This is the kind of gameplay you get. Realistic, He's not flying, floating all over, astronaut shit. You're doing realistic clips. They look good, And the pinch is there. You gotta get that pinch. You know what I mean? See, you gotta get that pinch in there. That's the kind of clips that you can get with this gameplay. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? See, like, look at these clips. I'm not good at filming, but just so you guys can see. No side, you know, doesn't scrape the nose or anything. If you're good at filming, you're gonna be dumping clips with these settings, you know? Drop a like, man. Drop a comment. If you get this far in the video, drop a like, drop a comment, man. Look at this gameplay. If you're good at recording, you're gonna be getting all the clips. Just with these settings, man. You know, you really get in there, you really lock in. That's the kind of clips you get. You know? That's all with these settings, man. These are gatekeeper settings. You could call them that, but the gameplay is realistic. Look at that. Fakey over that. You know, he looks like he's going fakey backwards. You put your joysticks in a way that it looks like he's going fakey. I'm not good at recording, but again, I keep repeating the same thing, but it's because it's true. But if you're good at recording, you're gonna be dumping clips with these settings, man. They're hard, but if you like playing this game or sim, you're gonna be killing it. Look at this. You could get lines too, you know. This is what I meant about the ollies. You flick it real quick, and he does like a little ollie, you know, just to get on there. That's what I meant about that. No board dropping animation. You know, you can hit lines. It's difficult with these settings, but they look realistic. You know, it's satisfying when you do it. You know, it's the kind of gameplay that you get with these settings. Look at that. You look like you're going to switch, right? Some goofy. Beautiful switch heel. You know what I mean? That's the kind of gameplay that you get. And you can do manuals too, you know, with all these settings, you should be set. You don't need some people be like, oh, I need to tweak this or that for certain tricks or for certain lines. Not with these settings, man. With these settings, you're straight, you're set. You're going to be just dumping clips. You know? Your manuals, they won't touch. They'll never touch. You know? If you know how to film clips, you're going to be getting clips all day with these settings. Even these kind of simple tricks look really good because you got these realistic settings. So the physics, you know, they don't look that bad with these settings, you know? If you just practice, that even this simple line is very satisfying. These are all with these settings. Just you take some practice, but like this one, look. You know, you can get lines. I don't know how to film, but if you know how to film, you're gonna be getting clips all day, like I said. You know you're on there. Your manuals don't touch. That's all with these clips. All with these settings, I mean, you know? You know, you can get all these clips. Your manuals don't touch, your flips look good, your tricks look good. You know what I mean? Good tricks, man. You know, simple, but they look beautiful. You're gonna be dumping clips just with these settings. These are all with these settings, you know. They're difficult, but your clips are gonna be really good, man. If you know how to film, you're just gonna be getting clips all day. The settings talk for themselves, you know. Like, I'll explain one. That's why you need the full body rotation to 20 on the grinds, because you know in real life when they do whatever to grinds, they just like 180 out, you know. And with the settings like these, you can do all these realistic tricks and lines. You know, you pop shove on, nose doesn't touch or scrape, some Brian Wenning shit, and you just like 180 out, you know. Simple, realistic, gatekeeper settings, man. But the clips, they talk for themselves. Like, watch. If you're good at recording, you just that you know. But you got the tricks, man. You know, nollie, flip. You know, he's not popping from like far. He's like right on there, realistic. Nollie flips. You know, you got the board pitch. You got the pinch. You got the clip. You know what I mean? You get the lines, you get the clips. And even though it's difficult, but you can get good long grinds as well, you know? Look at that Smith right here. Just pinched, you know? These are all with these settings. These are all with these settings. You have to drop a lot of hours of gameplay, but alright, those are some of the clips, you know? But drop a like, you know, let me know. Use these settings, let me know what you think. Let me know you got this far in the video. let me know how these settings are going for you, man. These are the most realistic settings, hardcore settings that you can do. Try them out. Let me know what you think. Comment later on after you try them. For these, you don't need to adjust anything for tricks or whatever. Like, oh, I need to fix my height or whatever. Not for these tricks. For these settings, you can do anything. We'll just do some last minute gameplay right here. Get the video a little bit longer, but the video's kind of long. But let me know if you got through the whole video. Let me know what you think about these settings. If you tried them out. Let me know you tried them out. Let me know what you think about them. It takes some time, but they're the most realistic settings that you could get. We're just ending with some gameplay right quick. It's hard to land some tricks sometimes, you know, but just a couple of bonus clips right quick. But you guys saw the settings, you saw some clips, a couple of tricks here on gameplay. It's kind of hard, you know, to do them with these settings. It's hard, but if you got to put in time, you know, kind of like real skating. That's why it's a simulation. These settings are not for everybody, but let me know what you think about these. Like I said, I keep repeating, but if you know how to film, you're gonna be getting clips, man. You're gonna be getting all the clips. You know what I mean? Got the pinch, everything. It's hard to lock in, but just look at that. It's hard to get these tricks, but backspin the tail, and they look real. Just gotta practice, man. You know what I mean? These are all with these settings. They just take practice, but you know, once you lock in, you got it. Probably just show you this last one, you know. Pretty long video, but let me know if you got through the whole thing. Let me know what you think, man. Just practice these with these settings. They're difficult, but they're realistic. Look at the pinch. If you know how to film, like I said, you're gonna be getting clips all day. I don't know how to record, but if you do know how to record clips, you know what I mean? Alright, that's it. Those are the settings, gatekeeper settings right there. Try them out. Let me know what you think. We'll see for more videos in the future.